Hey Bunty, greetings from San Francisco. It's a lovely Saturday here. So, earlier this week I saw Thor Ragnarok with a film, with a
Right.
friend, and I
Uh-huh.
couldn't help thinking that I'm pretty sure that if Thor was made as an Indian movie, some
Correct.
some community would have said
Yeah.
that Thor is our feelings are hurt because Thor is a god, even though he's a Norse god,
Yes.
and there would have been some ethnic slash cultural slash religious group protesting on the streets, threatening the
Are
actors and
are
actresses.
they would have said Thor is Hanuman.
Thor is Hanuman, exactly. Yeah. अरे
Thor
वो
is
तो
Hanuman.
yeah, अखंड भारत, right? अखंड
Yeah.
yeah, ये Thor तो अपना ही है. Because this same drama that we have seen happen like a number of times, I think it, I don't know if it had happened with Bajirao Mastani. The same drama is basically now happening with Padmavati. And
Right.
the long and short of it, I'm sure our readers are like pretty familiar. But just to give you a background, a quick backgrounder on what's happening,
Uh-huh.
and I'll give it like in a super compressed pressy form. So this
Right.
is a film based on the Queen Padmavati, who did not
Right.
actually historically exist.
Right.
She's a character in a poem which
Right.
is written by. Um uh, Let me just see. It's a poem that is basically written. It's an Awadhi language epic poem written by Sufi poet Malik Muhammad Jaisi in
Right.
1540. And in the poem, what happens is that she's the wife of Ratan Sen or Rawal Ratan Singh. This is all from Wikipedia, by the way. So if Wikipedia is
Yeah.
it has some like goalies in here, then that is that's
Plain Wikipedia. Yeah.
that is not me. So the Rajput ruler of Mewar, long shot, Alauddin Khilji, laid siege to Chittor fort, but instead of forcibly being abducted, these women committed johar to save their honor, which is I think self-immolation. So
Correct.
that's basically the story. Now, in the film, I don't know what happens, whether she's shown as falling in love with Khilji, but one way or another, Rajputs are like, up in arms, and there's some like group, so-called fringe group. But the point is that these fringe groups are actually pretty mainstream, called the Karni Sena, which has issued vile kinds of threats to Deepika Padukone. We will behead, some kind of bounty apparently. I will chop nose, using filthy language for her, threatening major tamasha that the film's producers apparently also had a private screening for like Arnab Goswami and some other editors who apparently have become like the boss of everyone in India. And a lot of people are saying that, Arey, why are Rajputs so like upset about it? This doesn't dishonor Rajput valor or Rajput pride in any which way, which is a completely absurd argument to make. A, because that's it's about freedom of expression, and B, this is a mythic character, and C, even if there was a this character historically existed, there is artistic license and interpretation. So the usual dramas have happening, and even people who one would expect to have some clarity on the issues, like Shashi Tharoor, some kind of very like politician style tweet about Rajput. One must be sensitive to Rajput feelings and all. No, one must not be sensitive to Rajput feelings, is the point one wants to make. And one must really, follow the law out here, defend the principle of freedom of expression, is what I would say, and send a strong message to these, vigilante Hindu groups. So that's where it stands as of now. And the drama goes on. And obviously, lots of different groups are seeking to milk this for political capital. So,
So
yeah,
first of all, this Padmavati character is made up.
totally
Is
made
that
up.
what we're getting from Wikipedia, right?
Padmavati is made up. Padmavati is a fiction, is a figment of the imagination of a poet who's a Muslim poet. That's another thing, right? There's another
Correct,
irony.
correct.
This is
Okay,
total
okay. So
like, yeah,
it's just like people getting worked up about Darth Vader,
people
right?
getting worked up about female Darth Vader of the Rajputs. And
Correct,
I
correct.
want to
So
add,
this is
let me throw one more thing in here. I don't, sorry, not to monopolize. One more thing. Rajputs, this business of Rajput pride, Rajput valor, Rajput honor. Fact of the matter is that barring one or two victories, as I believe Girish Shahane had written a piece in the Scroll a while ago, Rajputs lost every single battle to the Mughals, 95% of battles. So, in some ways, this Rajput pride is some form of like collective PTSD, or it's like, valor, be wounded valor. It's protesting too much. So that's the mix.
collective PTSD. That is a wild one. No. Look, I think let's take it in three separate tranches. So first of all, Padmavati, Rani Padmavati is, as far as we know, and we are no experts, it is a made-up construct. So it's like getting angry about Vikram Vetal, right?
Or Santa Claus.
So it is just like everybody's getting caught up in something that is utterly fictitious. So that's one thing. So my question is, who are these people who are kind of blockading forts and threatening movie halls? Are they not aware that this is fictional? That's the first penny drop moment that should happen, because any conversation which offends people, your starting point's got to be: is this fact? Did this really happen? Right?
But boss,
So that's the first issue.
The same point can be made about religion, right? Which is that
Yeah.
Muhammad is fictional. Did Ram really exist? At least the Ram of who's the object of devotion. So, but yeah, very good question.
So that's first question. So that if you're kind of thinking of harassing movie theater owners or blockading cinema, that's one first question. Second question is that every time, you're so right, every time there is something that can be, because India is such a large country, you cannot have a situation where everything is acceptable to 1.2 billion or 1.25 billion people without causing any offense, right? There will always be some angle to find that, boss, ye tune kya bol diya? This is not fair, this is not right. So I think you have to be there has to be a certain amount of, so therefore your comment about the rule of law prevailing over the rule of communities, or the rule of faith sentiments or community sentiments or caste sentiments. The reason we are a nation is because we say we accept the Constitution, and the Constitution, if somebody is challenging the constitutional orientation of something, then it's fair point. Then let there be all the hulla that there needs to be. But if somebody feels that using betel nut is a problem, or using Chaman Bahar is a problem, or using Dabur Dantmanjan is a problem, and the representation of that creates ruckus, it's a really oddball situation to be in. Final point that you pointed about Rajputs. When I was young, and I remember, do you remember there were these Amar Chitra Katha comic books, right?
Yeah.
So my knowledge of the Rajputs, like Rana Pratap, and that's predominantly the only guy I recall. These guys,
I just knew like Rana Pratap, right? It's like Mewat Singh and these some of these minor guys. These have just crawled out of the woodwork. After this Hindu project has sort of come out. Any like Gayaram has become, a legendary Hindu fighter. Just like, Bal Thackeray.
Yeah.
After Bal Thackeray came to power, his father was transformed into freedom fighter. So...
so I think this Rana Pratap types, the narrative for all of these Rajput stories of glory is, first of all, hiding behind everything that a Rajput did was awful treatment of women, right?
Yeah.
It was like the women had to chuck themselves on the funeral pyre for fear of being captured or, abused, etc., etc. Now, in every Rajput narrative, there is this kind of glorious thing that, I should have, but uncle, something happened. Some other Rajput king gave me an angle or something. So basically, any Rajput narrative is basically calling out not so it's positioned as this kind of glorious kind of fight back by the few against the many, but actually it's a chauvinistic bunch of infighting groups which let the side down. And to your point, they never really, apart from one or two odd battles, they never really won anything. So this kind of mythology of eating thalis, burning women and fighting Mughals is maybe they fought and they fought without any coherence, they fought without any strategy. And for a community 300 years down the line to then start monopolizing this as some kind of glorious, it's like making statues for Nathuram Godse. There's this kind of
and they just made a statue to him.
So there's this kind of oddball, twisted kind of sycophancy, however you pronounce that, that's coming up. Look, obviously there'll be Rajput listeners in our cohort of people who listen to this show. Look, we do not want to offend anybody's sentiments. If you're Rajput, if you're from any other community, that's not the point. The point we are making here is...
we want to... I'm going to disagree with you a little bit here. We're not picking on anyone, let's put it that way. But if people get offended, well, that someone or the other is always going to get offended.
Correct. So what I'm saying is that what we want to do is call out three facts. One, this lady is made up, a creature of fiction. So you're squabbling about fiction. Second in a nation our size, no matter how well you cast, whatever you do, you will have some people offending. But that does not give you the right to stop that expression from happening, right? Second point. Third point, boss, take a Pepsi, chill out, relax. Rajputs didn't do anything mega as far as the nation is concerned, and nation building is concerned. They were basically parochial chauvinist groups which fought amongst each other, and they got kicked by better organized people in the face, and their only resort to that was, some kind of sporadic last minute action.
Basically regional satraps.
Correct. So I think, that's kind of our summarization of, Rajput heroics. So I think the Sardar community, the Jat community, the Gurkhas, have actually, proportionate to the kind of mythology that circulates, are much braver, credible people, because they're actually regiments of, or there's stories where people against all odds have held people. This Rana Pratap, Amar Chitra Katha nonsense is not something that I can easily buy.
I mean, there is
so
that's my rifles also, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, I've never heard of any, is there some legendary victory attributed to the Rajputana rifles? Maybe, I don't know.
This is tricky, man. Chalo, so we talked about Padmavati. Our net view is Padmavati should be released. People who want to watch it should pay money, go and watch it. People who don't want to watch it, save the money and have some vada pav and enjoy themselves.
Okay, take care. I feel like eating vada pav now. Bye.
Chalo, take care. Bye-bye.